Yo, what's cracking? What's cracking? Welcome to the latest episode of Roast with Friends. I'm some guy 125. It's my nigga JayMan Jay.
Yeah, we live, baby.
Monica. I'm just kidding. Every time you say that, it reminds me of Ja Rule. You should start doing that. Like JayMan, baby. But yeah, welcome to this episode. I don't even know which episode number this is. For
This will
whatever
be
episode number it
episode
is, look at
six.
this.
Episode 6.
I was just gonna say, look at the title. It's that.
Yeah, I guess that's the easier way.
Yeah, it's that episode, whatever the title say. Maybe we can edit it in. It's gonna be whatever number JayMan or me puts right there. But this one we gonna go back to or go with some more deep shit, because we like it deep. We like it raw too, but that's a different episode. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We might not talk about that. You never know. But so this is actually something that JayMan came up with. So I'm gonna let him explain it, and then we can get to it. Go ahead.
All right. So today's episode is gonna be on proper fat nigga etiquette. As you can see, your boy JayMan has gained some weight. Currently working on it. Going to the gym, eating better, actually doing intermittent fasting right now. And it's been challenging, but slowly but surely, dropping a couple pounds a week right now. So it's working out for me. And then I don't know if you got any fat nigga stories you want to get to, or you want me to go first?
Nah, I ain't got any right now.
All right,
so I'm gonna bounce off your ideas if something comes to mind.
All right, so I'm gonna rant a little bit because I got 2 stories. I actually got a story about proper fat nigga etiquette when 2 fat niggas doing fat things together, just having a jolly old time, stuff like that. And then I have a story also about poor fat nigga etiquette. As big niggas, we gotta, be a little better. Make sure we respect each other's space and stuff like that. So I just want to tell a story about me being at the gym. So I'm on the Stairmaster, and the Stairmaster is whooping my ass. I'm like, and those breaths you take when your body doesn't know if you should swallow your spit or breathe, you can't do both. Yeah. So you're like, so I'm like this, I'm like bad. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to, get my stamina back. Because when I was actually going to the gym regularly, I used to be able to do 30 minutes on the Stairmaster at a fair rate. Now I could only do 10 minutes. So I'm trying to just slowly get my stamina back up. So I'm doing my thing. I'm at 8.5 minutes. So I got a minute and a half to go, and I'm dying on that thing. And then this big dude comes up to me and he's like, I couldn't hear what he's saying. I have my headphones in. So he's doing the, tapping the headphones in. I just think to myself, what the hell this big nigga want? So he's bigger than me, by the way. So just to clarify, he's the fattest nigga in the gym, and I'm second place. So that's how big he was to me. So I take off my headset, and he's like, hey, bro, I just want to let you know I see you, man. I see you out here working, and I just want to let you know I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself too. And then he daps me up, and he's like, hey, man, I'm going to be here same time tomorrow, man. I better see you here working just like that again. And then I put my headset back in, I dap him up or whatever. And then I had 2 thoughts almost immediately. And then my first thought was man, what a nice. And then before I can even finish my first thought, my intrusive thought came out. And I'm just looking at him or I'm thinking to myself, I didn't say it to him. That'd be fucked up. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm just like, nigga, if you don't get your big old 2 for $7 Big Mac with a McChicken and a large Coke and large fries eating ass out my fucking face, like, I don't want to hear all that fat nigga hoorah bullshit. This nigga is walking away and like, you know that fat nigga Watto, Chris?
Yeah.
Where like they can't really walk straight. It's like they're so big, they have what I call the flank walk, where they gotta like walk and like take a side step to the right. And then like you think he's going right, and he's like to the left now, yo. And then it takes that left side. So this nigga's walling away. And I'm just like, man, I could tell what the way he walked. that nigga go and get him a baker's dozen every time you see that hot sign on that Krispy Kreme.
Damn.
Like this big ass motherfucker, man. And like at the same time, like I know like that dude seems like a really cool dude, really nice dude, but it's like when you a big nigga, you can't be at the gym making friends with other big niggas. You know, it's almost like a crackhead out of rehab and sober for a month meets a crackhead who's been sober for 2 days and is like, yeah, we should hang out, man. Like, I want to see you here tomorrow. Like, no, like stay away from that fucking crackhead. He gonna make you relapse. So I'm just like, man, just
so you say
next
so hold on. What you saying basically is that all right, so JayMan, what you saying is basically you believe that if you and big niggas started hanging out, y'all more likely to go to McDonald's than the gym.
Absolutely. Let me tell you this statistic. Actually, I'm gonna have you guess it. So, like for people that get as big as me, which is over 35% body fat, do you know what percentage of big niggas that get that big get down to like a respectable like 15 to 18% body fat and keep that weight off for more than 5 years? Just take a guess.
10%.
Like 10%, 20.
10. I'm gonna go with 10.
10? 1%.
It's 1%.
1%. Like some big niggas, they get down that low and then they get comfortable and they slowly get back to their old ways. And then 2 or 3 years later, they're back in their fat body. So me and him could work out together. 98 other fat niggas could walk into that very same gym. Only one of us is going to meet our goal. So it's like me and you be friends. Like next thing you know, I'm hitting you up like, hey man, like you trying to meet at the gym tonight? And he's just like, oh no, man. I'm like, I'm actually going to go try out this carne asada pizza place I heard about. And me, I'm gonna be like, man, what carne asada pizza? Like, that sounds way better than gym. What's the address, man? What time you going? Next thing you know, like I had all my plans to go to the gym. This nigga done fat relapsed. Now my ass done fat relapsed. Now we 2 fat niggas met at the gym eating carne asada pizza together. And this is a true story. That's why I sound so bitter about it. It actually happened to me. Embarrassing to say, but yeah, I was supposed to go to the gym.
Relapsed.
And fat nigga relapsed, went and got some carne asada pizza. It was fucking fire too. But
that is true.
Yeah. So
it's when you're more likely to fall, and that's any bad habit. You're more likely to fall back into it if you hang out with people who do it. That's smoking weed, being a misogynist, being anything. You gonna fall back into whatever people you hang around with do. So you ain't lying on that one. So I feel you on that. Like,
so it's just like if you a big nigga, you gotta learn like proper fat nigga etiquette. Like you do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing. Maybe in a year we kind of recognize each other's work and like we both been at it. And like at that point,
how about
now some people might be listening and being like, man, that's fucking offensive and you're discriminating. And it's just like, if I'm a big nigga, I can't be friends with no big nigga. And there's exceptions to the rule. Like if you had a homie in high school and either y'all both were big or both were skinny, y'all both big now, that's fine. That's different. Y'all known each other forever. But like you can't go out and meet new big niggas. Now to offset that story, I don't know if you want to say something first, Chris. I know I've been ranting, but I got one more story for you.
Not for you. It's a little. It's you know me. I think deeply about everything. So it's not just the it's not just the behavior. It really is like the environment that we live in. You know what I mean? That's why so many of us are fat. You know what I mean? Like you have to consciously eat healthy, like make that decision because a lot of our food is just that shitty or that bad for you. A
Mhm.
lot of the shit we eat and get served is illegal in other countries because it's that fucking shitty for you. So it's just, there's that. But, it really is like, yeah, your habits too, though. So, it, it's just deeper than that, but you're right. So what should the etiquette be if you see another big nigga at the gym? You should just give him the eye from across, shine or give him a thumbs up, hey, but don't
Yeah,
approach
the
him.
the little Ned Hod is head Ned Hod. The head nod is fine. Like you catch eye
Mhm.
contact, just do a little,
See your big ass.
or the just something simple like that. No conversation needs to be said.
I see you, big player over there. All right.
No, not even that. Just go on about you. If we happen to catch eye contact, all right. So I guess I'll get into. um, this is probably one of my favorite stories. This is like just amazing fat nigga etiquette that greatly greatly appreciate and approve of. Something that I still do to this day. Um, so I'm in line at In and Out one day. Obviously about to give me some burgers, some animal fries. And so I'm in line, minding my business. I don't know why, but I'm like looking up at the menu like already know what my fat ass is gonna order. And then I noticed this dude in front of me, he like looks back at me a couple times. And after a while, he kind of did that. He's a big nigga, if you couldn't tell. So if you could I don't know if you guys know kind of like that like lean back thing that fat people do because they don't want to turn around all the way. So he's kind of like he's kind of like sideways to me and like leaning back. And he's like, hey man, I don't mean to impose, but like you about to get something like a protein burger or something healthy, trying to do something like that. I'm just like, nah, man, I'm about to give me like two double doubles and an animal fry. And he's like, okay, okay. And then he goes, he's like, so check this out. He's like, have you ever gotten an animal style double double with extra cheese, extra grilled onions, and extra toast on that thing? I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, nigga. Like, first of all, I didn't even know they did animal style burgers. I usually get the animal style fries, and I was like, you're gonna have to tell me what that is. And then like, I was like, extra toast. I'm like, what is that? Like it's like a Big Mac where they get like the extra bun and like, put in the middle the two patties. And then he looks at me and he's like, nah, my brother, it ain't nothing like that. And he's like, I'm gonna tell you about the animal style first. So I'm like, okay. And then this fat nigga goes into like the craziest, fattest speech I've ever heard in my life. He's like, all right, so animal style, right? He's like, first they put like extra like In and Out spread on the burger, right? Then they get them two patties and they put mustard on them patties and fry the patties like that, right? I'm like, okay. And then they go ahead and get the grilled onions, put the grilled onions on the burger. And he's explaining all this to me. And he's like, but then you got to say no pickles on it, like unless you like pickles. And I'm like, nah, nigga, we right here. Like, I don't fuck with pickles either. And then he's like, all right. And then like we having this whole conversation. By the time like we finished, like the lady's like next up or whatever. And then I'm like, oh shit, I don't even remember how to order it. And he's like, don't even worry about it. I got you. I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, and afterwards, I'm gonna give you the receipt. So like if you like it, you can go ahead and order it next time. I'm like, damn, this nigga thinking of everything. And I'm like, yeah, just give me like your Zelle or something. Like, I'll send you the money for it. He's like, nah, man, I told you I got it.
What
So
I'm tripping off of is why this nigga tell you how they make the burger like an old wise tale or something, like fucking Paul Bunyan or something. Nigga, see, what they say is that they brought in a new machine, and they was gonna put Paul out of, and he beat the machine. This nigga was telling you, nigga, what they do with the burger is, nigga, they put it together, nigga, like nigga, motherfucking, you know, they fry it with the mustard. That's what they say. I ain't never witnessed it.
That nigga had me sold though, the way he was talking about it.
Like he was like, y'all was in front of a campfire. This nigga was telling you this old fat people story.
Like, yeah, this is my favorite fat nigga story.
Like In-N-Out went away. Like they didn't know In-N-Out's in the West, and it's just something that happens in the foreign land that he visited while on a ship or something. You know, like they do this. This nigga comedy.
He had it patented down, like, and then and so he gets up and orders, and he's just like, yeah. He looks back, he's like, you said 2 double-doubles and a animal fry, right? And I'm like, yep. And then this nigga orders, he's like, let me get 5 double-doubles.
So that nigga got 3.
And yeah, he out fat niggered me. So he's like, let me get 5 double-doubles, animal style. Hold the pickles now. Hold the pickles. Let me get extra cheese, extra grilled onions, and extra toast on all 5 of them things. I was like, God damn, the way he ordered it making me even more hungry. And then he's like, let me get 2 animal fries and a large drink. And, you know, she rings him up or whatever. And this is how fat I am. I remember what number we were. She gave him numbers. She's like, all right, you're number 17, sir. And it was just such a great experience. I remember the number we got. So he pulls me off to the side, like where they like kind of where the drinks are. And I'm like, hey man, I appreciate you, man. Like, you didn't have to give my meal and like that. He's like, hey, don't even worry about it, man. I just want you to have something new, you know, enjoy your meal and like, you know, try this burger I made. And like, I kind of like made I was like, nigga, like the burger you made, like, like that was really his mindset. Like he had came up with this thing. And then I'm like, yeah, this nigga's crazy. And he's like, all right, now let me tell you about the extra toast. I'm like, oh shit, nigga, I forgot about the extra toast. I'm like, you made the first half of this explanation so amazing. I forgot there was more. And then this is the funniest part. He's like, you remember how they put the mustard on them patties? I'm like, yup. He's like, so check this out, what they do with the bun. And then he's like, you know how you take that first bite on a double-double and that first bite is crunchy? I'm like, yeah, man, that first bite is fire. He's like, all right, well, they toast it for about 20 seconds longer and makes the whole bun get a little crunch in there. I'm like, damn. And then he was like, the way the grilled onions and cheese is on it, like softens it up a little bit so it's not too crunchy. I was like, God damn, nigga. And then he goes,
you got the science behind it. You know, you can see the way the motherfucking onions interact with the molecules of the bread. Nigga, see it causes the molecular structure. Like, God damn, Professor Clump up in this nigga. Like,
the Professor Clump of burgers.
God damn.
And then and then this nigga goes, so check this out. He's like, you remember like the mustard on the patties, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so check this out. When they fry the patties and then they get all them extra grilled onions and fried on there, he's like, then they put the bun on top. They let it sit there for about 20, 25 seconds and it soaks up all the juices from the grilled onions and that mustard patty. And it really makes that thing. He's like, it really makes the flavor pop on that bun. And I was like, God damn, nigga, slow down. You done got my dick hard talking like that. Like this nigga said, it really makes the flavors pop on that bun. Like, God damn. And then this isn't even the end of the fat story. This is how it gets even more crazy. And so like while he's explaining this like succulent, amazing double burger to me, all I hear is order number 17. He's like, let me get an extra bag, please. Like he was on it quick. So he gets the extra bag, grabs the animal fries, grabbed his 3 burgers, puts it in the bag. And he's like, all right, man, enjoy your food. And then he gives me the cup. And I'm like, wait, like this isn't your drink? And this nigga says to me, he says, nah, man, I got like my own little mix of Kool-Aid drink I make at home whenever I get in and out. That's like my little drink that I have with my in and out food. And I was like, nigga, out of everything you said to me, that's the fattest shit I ever heard in my life. This nigga has a customized Kool-Aid drink he makes in the pitcher before he even leaves in and out. Because he told me, he was just like, yeah, I got that pitcher waiting on me it's in the cold, it's in the fridge with the ice in it, it's just waiting on me. I got to get on up out of here. And I'm just like, nigga, you just explained the most succulent burger I've ever heard in my life. But you just told me you make a customized Kool-Aid drink that you have and you make every time that you go and get in and out. So that means if you don't have this Kool-Aid mix at home, you go to the grocery store first, pass by all this healthy food you could potentially eat, go home, make your Kool-Aid mix, and then you go to In-N-Out and get you this fat ass double you done explained to me.
3 of them, my nigga.
3 of them. And then I was just like, all right, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna walk out with you. Let me go get my drink real quick. So no one's in the line, so I'm quick. I'm like, boom, get the ice. I turn around, this nigga's gone. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
That nigga
like,
even existed?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Was he some fat guardian angel? My nigga, like,
I was like, it was only like 5 seconds. Like there's nobody else in line. So I'm just like, it really did occur to me, like, this fat ass nigga couldn't have left that fast. All I did was walk like 4 or 5 steps, get ice, and turn around. And I was like, hey man, how much, like, I was trying to ask how much it costs or something. And then that nigga was gone. So like you said, I was like, what the fuck? Like some fucking like fat guardian angel, like some fat Jesus giving out free food to other fat people that can't really afford it and don't know how to order right. And so I get my drink and I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like looking around. It really occurred to me, like, was this experience even real? Did I just have a out of body, parallel universe with a fat nigga? And then like, I get to my car and I'm just like, bro, this is like the craziest shit ever. And then out of nowhere, I hear somebody honking. I turn around, it's this big ass fat nigga in a freaking old ass Ford Focus. He rolled his window down and he's like, I almost forgot to give you the receipt, player. I'm just like, nigga, you're real? And then he's like, my bad, man. I'm like, I'm so hungry. Like, I couldn't wait. And like the first thought I had was like, nigga, you couldn't wait 5 seconds for me to put ice and then put some pink lemonade in this shit. Like there is no one else in line. And this nigga just left. And he's like, there's the receipt right there. And then so before I end the story, I just got to say, man, In-N-Out, if niggas start ordering this burger, man, send us some love, send us a check. And I'm gonna say it twice, just so anybody listening might want to order this amazing, immaculate burger from In-N-Out. One more time, or two more times, actually.
Hey,
so,
hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
We ain't gotta do that. We could just type it out in the fucking comment in the section, in the description, how to make we get the transcript and just put it out there.
All right, well, I'm gonna say it 2 more times anyways.
Go ahead.
Because I want to say it with some passion this time.
All
right. So you're gonna go to In-N-Out, get you a double animal style, no pickles, unless you like pickles. I ain't hating. Extra toast, extra cheese, extra grilled onions, and it really makes the flavor pop on that bun. And
extra toast. I'm gonna remember that forever. But I got some commentary on that shit, nigga. Like, nigga. All right. The thing that stuck out to me the most, I don't know how any human being eats 3 doubles without dying. Like, just to be honest, nigga, like, there's no way. And I gained some weight, like, and I couldn't eat 3 doubles playing. Like, I could maybe get 1.5 up in there if I had to right now, but 3 of them shits. That's crazy as fuck. and then
That's my
some Animal
favorite fat
Southwest,
story.
and then some special Kool-Aid drink. I'm surprised he didn't explain that to you, but he probably used up too much energy explaining the damn burger and shit.
The way he explained that Kool-Aid drink, I feel like it gives you extra attributes like in video games. Like drink this hyper pushing Kool-Aid and you get extra 15 HP in your next boss fight.
It's like it's like a Resident Evil 4 when you mix the green plastic and the red one and you get your life full.
You get full health.
That's
the perfect explanation for his Kool-Aid.
Happened with him with that Kool-Aid. He mixed that Kool-Aid together, and then when he get full, he drink it. His stomach get empty again. He get a full stomach.
He can eat another double. That's how he gets 3 in there.
He just, I do the drink, and then every time I get full, I drink it. stomach, it moves on, and then stomach, I can eat some more.
Like special hyper potion Kool-Aid increases hunger after a full meal.
I'm surprised. Like, damn, I'm just thinking to explain that shit to you, and that is some good fat people etiquette, though. So.
Oh yeah, let me just break it down. I forgot about the fat nigga etiquette part. So just to break down why this situation of being a fat nigga is perfection. First of all, he checked his surroundings, saw another fat nigga, and like didn't just assume right away. He actually said, "Hey man, like you trying to get like a protein, like something healthy before I, try to tempt you with what I got going on." Mm-hmm. And I said no. And then once he heard me say, "I'm actually getting 2 doubles in animal fries," that's when his eyes lit up. He's like, "Yeah, I made me a new friend." Mm-hmm. And then, so he checked my boundaries first, saw that I was a fat nigga. He was a fat nigga. We was doing fat things in an establishment that makes you fat. Perfectly fine. 2 fat niggas in an unfat place trying to do unfat things, that's a no-no. Mm-hmm. You can't, you got to be fat together at a fat place where you're both trying to be fat, and in a gym, unfat place, workout, playing ball. Fat niggas don't mix well in those situations.
Yeah, that's a good one. Check the fat nigga boundaries. That's a good lesson in life. Like, nigga, learn to respect people's boundaries. Mm-hmm. That's just a good lesson. You know what I mean? Learn to probe before you just go in with something, because a lot of people don't understand. And then when don't be the person to just say something and then like cross a boundary, and then when that person gets offended, then you get offended that they're offended. It's just like, this kind of makes you an asshole, regardless of your intentions. Oh, I didn't mean anything by it. Well, still, still how they took it. They have a right to be sort of offended, especially if you're bringing up something personal. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he did. That's cool. Yeah, he realized, like what was going on here, what type of, how y'all were about to chow down was similar, mm-hmm. And then he put you up on game, but it's funny because boundaries and all that's gonna come into another episode we talked about.
Yeah, we definitely got to get into boundaries. That's kind of like to go back on our previous episode with the raising men in today's society. That's actually a good a word that I meant to bring up. It wasn't coming out to me when we were having the podcast. I was saying that a lot of men these days, they don't set the boundaries with their mom, because their mom kind of oversteps, and it gets to the point where like the wife is feeling disrespected and unheard, stuff like that. So like men need to learn to set boundaries with their family and understand when they decide to get married and start a new family, that's your new what's the word I'm looking for, Chris? Immediate family.
Yeah.
So you have to, they're your new number 1 priority, and you got to make sure everyone there. Yeah, and it's hard for a lot of men to accept that. Your mom just can't come over your house that you and your wife have bought and built together, and try to move her weight around.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you got to set those boundaries, man. Boundaries.
It's boundaries within that relationship with your wife too, and with your significant other. You know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid to set your boundaries, but like respect hers and shit like that too. It's a good thing to learn, but learn to probe too. Learn to like ask questions in a certain way. It's actually a good skill to have on a date. It's actually a good, it's like know how to ask questions to sort of like get an answer to something that you would want to know about that person. Ask questions in a way to get a person to talk about themselves and shit like that. You know, a lot of men don't do that, you know what I mean? Like don't know how to, hey, oh, so what do you like to do for fun? Like know something like, oh yeah, I like to do this. Know something, oh yeah, you know what, I've tried that before, and blah 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 blah, blah, and then like it can lead into other things, you know what I mean? But you know, it, that good that just showed social skills. Actually, both in both instances, the person who spoke with you showed good social skills. You know what I mean? It's just one kind of didn't respect like a boundary or just hey, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah, and to be honest, it wasn't that big of a deal
mhm,
at all. It was just that's just me, my own personal preference. And this is me also just making fun and just like
yeah,
letting letting people in onto my personal intrusive thoughts. 'Cause I have some fucked up intrusive thoughts that
we all do.
I got to the point where I don't say any of them out loud. So I don't want anyone thinking I went and said this to this nigga's face. Like, no, it's literally what went through my mind. And at the same
Yeah.
time, I was projecting because the fat things that I brought up earlier, those are fat things that I used to do.
Hmm.
And that's why it just clicked to me in my head to say those things. And I'm projecting because but he was genuinely a really, really good, nice dude. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's just me trying to get in the gym, eat better. Like I don't need to be around any other fat niggas right now. That's just to help me stay on track.
Yeah, it's a personal thing on your part.
Yeah, so
And
like
that's
nothing
respectable
really bad
too.
about the first one.
It's there's nothing wrong with that too. We all do things in a certain way. That's life. You figure out sort of what works for you. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
what's not working for you. You know what I mean? But it is like a good maybe we can't call it fat dick this episode, fat nigga etiquette. It's just fat nigga stories, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's
Or
just
what
what's funny is how this was supposed to be just a funny episode, and it ended up being that you saw that the first one didn't respect a stranger's boundaries, and the second one did. Because
mhm,
even though the first one was a really genuinely nice guy, like kind of walking up to a stranger at the gym is
mhm.
kind of weird in the first place. Like people don't really want to hear that shit from strangers. At least I don't. I mean, maybe some people do, but
I know,
I'm more of a private person. I just want to go in there,
yeah.
handle business, and leave.
Um, I know that because I've experienced it a lot because, I had a physical deformity, you probably remember with my ears. And before I had my surgery, it's like people like the amount of people that would just walk up to you and just blatantly like ask you about it. And then you try to signal like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you about it, you know what I mean? And they get like offended, like, oh, I was just asking, it's just like, oh dude, like what makes you think I want to have this conversation with you? It's like walking up to a person who's missing his leg, like, "Whoa, bro, how'd you lose your leg?" Like, just like like. And I remember one time with somebody, like, I had to I would signal it to them in a different way. And somebody was just like, somebody would be like, some people would be like really fucked up about it, and some people would be like, "Oh, what the fuck happened to your ears, man?" And you're just like, and I'd be
Mhm.
like, "Hello, my name is Chris. What's yours?" Like just a signal, like, "Hey, you dickhead, why would that be the first thing you say to me?" But some people are just maybe I'm saying it because maybe I'm a little hurt or maybe, but whatever I'm gonna say. Some people are just fucking stupid like that. Just like have no sense of like you shouldn't say that to people. Like somebody you
No,
don't know,
you're
you don't
right.
know.
You're
Like it,
100% right.
and it's just like in certain instances, it's just like, yeah, dude, like because when that happened, it's just like, dude, if we were at that, like, and I even had to tell the person, like, because I knew him out, we were at work and I knew him outside of work. And I was like, dude, like, if we weren't at work, I'd have fucked you up. Like, I'd have punched you dead in your fucking face. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just like, it was just that disrespectful. You know what I mean? And then, like, they
Hmm.
explained it to me, like, oh, well, I thought you, like, kind of did it to yourself. And I was like, regardless, even if I did it to myself, why would you still be rude about it? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, but some people are just like that. You know what I mean? So that's where I get it to where like, in public, you gotta like, hey, maybe not everybody wants you to walk up to them and be like, oh, hey, I see you. I see you working out over here. Maybe they just want to be left the fuck alone, and that's fine. And
Mhm.
so you gotta like probe that in, like or wait to a situation to where maybe it might be acceptable for you guys to talk to each other because like when I went to the gym, I never talked to anybody while they're on a fucking machine or working out or doing anything. Because like, most people aren't trying to hold a conversation while they're working out. Now, if you see them by the water fountain or something or somewhere else, all right. It's
Yeah,
just
and I
like,
was
hey,
like I said, I was fucking dying. I was trying to hit that last minute and a half. I know I was looking stupid.
yeah.
Could barely breathe.
And
Legs
here
was
he come over and
burning.
want to talk to you and hold a full out conversation. And the other dude, he like you said, he looked around and he just sort of like, hey man, he sort of probed it and saw what,
Hmm.
hey, that you guys were on the same page. And then
Yeah.
he went with what he went. And it was just like, yeah, that's sort of part of it. That's where, where my mind went with it. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to like sort of take a funny story or try to make it like deep, but I honestly feel like there's deep aspects to everything. You know what I mean?
Feel it.
Yeah, so it's just what it is. So yeah, like I got plenty of stories too about like what happened before I had my surgery and shit. And it really did like shape my life, make me a little bit less of an asshole. But like I
Mhm.
said, me being an asshole is just more like just I guess me being stupid. You know what I mean? Just saying shit that comes to my mind. But
Feel that. We should do a full episode on that if you're down.
I'm down.
I
It's
know
not
we're kind of
something.
like around the 30-minute mark now, I think 30, forty
Yeah,
minute mark.
yeah, it's not something I really like. Fuck it, yeah, I'll talk about it.
You don't have to. I'm just saying
Nah,
because
it's like
we
it's
kind of
good
got
to
into a little bit. So
it's good to sort of like get it out there. You know what I mean? For other people who might go through it and just uh, um, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, what I might do.
Oh no, I wasn't saying I want to get off unless you have to.
Oh
I
no
wanted
no
to
no
do
no no
that.
no. Oh
I want to do that morality question
oh yeah,
before we get off.
let's go let's go let's go.
Do a couple of those.
Yeah.
So anyone listening still, we appreciate it. This is the Roast with Friends podcast. We just got telling uh some funny, at least to me, some funny stories
It was
that have
funny.
happened to me. And kind of got into some other topics regarding that, like boundaries. So something that we're going to be talking about in a future episode. And then me and Chris kind of have these like morality questions. Is that's what it's called?
Mm.
Test
Yeah,
your morality type questions. So
you can call it that.
probably
Yeah.
do a couple of those and then get on up out of here after that.
Yeah.
So I got one for you. I don't know if you want me to go first or you
Yeah.
can
Go
do
ahead.
yours first.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the morality question for me is, let's say we can make it yeah, fuck it. To make it a little bit more like I guess difficult to answer, we use Drake in his example when anyone listening, our friend Drake, not the
Not the
rapper
rapper
Drake.
Drake.
uh our best friend, three of us are all really close. So I'm gonna use Drake in this story. So say all right, so say you get a text from Drake one morning and he's like, "Hey dude, like this is gonna sound crazy. But I found out this dude lives in your area and he's like been targeting my family, like stalking my family and stuff like that. I found out where he's gonna be in your area. So I went and I dropped my phone off at your house, like for cell phone pings or whatever, make it seem like he was at your house. And I went and I took care of this dude. And then I went back, got my phone, like you're my alibi.
Mhm.
And you know, I need you to, take care of this for me. Like that's the reason that I, put my phone over at your house. And then, so the detective comes, asks you all these questions, and you decide that you are going to lie for Drake, say he was at your house the whole night. And then at the end of the interview, the detective, it's a female detective, and she basically says, like, look, like, I know the stalker guy, like, he's got a case, sexual assault, like, he's a terrible guy, he's dead now, you're his alibi, everything checks out. But I do have video footage of Drake, walking in the area at the time. And but she looks at you and says, but I kind of understand the situation. So if you sleep with me, I'm going to let Drake get off scot-free. Would you cheat on your wife so that Drake doesn't go to jail?
Damn. Um, that's a hard one.
Mhm.
First thought, probably not. Probably not. I couldn't, because then, yeah, I'll throw my whole life away. I
Mhm.
know Drake's throwing his life away too, but he inadvertently put me in that, or he didn't inadvertently, he put me in that situation against my will. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Without discussing it. And then now I lie for him. I could be the only one to face consequences to his actions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just on some level, like, nah. I I I, I wouldn't do that to him, so I wouldn't expect him to. I wouldn't like do that to him and expect him to cover for me. So nah, I couldn't, throw my family away like that.
I respect that.
What would you do? Roles reversed, but it's me.
Um, I
I'm
almost have the
Drake.
exact same answer as you. Like the fair answer is literally what you said. Like, that vigilante justice shit is all, fun and dandy in the movies,
Mhm.
but you can't go
There's no
around.
consequences.
Yeah. And it sucks because I think that is the right thing to do. But like you said, like, I wouldn't want to throw away my relationship. Now my cheating answer, not cheating like in relationship, just cheating, like kind of cheating the answer in a sense. If like I talked to my partner and explained the situation to her and she was okay with it,
Mhm.
then in that case I would, unless it seemed like she was just saying it, you know what I mean? Like if I
Yeah,
really genuinely felt like she's like, no, I don't want him to go to jail for that. Like she genuinely wanted me to do it, then I would.
yeah.
But that's kind of a cheating answer. So like I'm gonna go with the
But
same thing. I'm
it's
gonna go
not
with
it's not
no.
really a cheating answer. It's those variables change. Just like I said, like they would do these type of questions in like philosophy classes. Because I took a number of philosophy classes. I was a sociology major. Like, and even I took a pre-law program. There's a couple of other philosophy classes we had to take, critical thinking classes and shit. And they do these for a reason because it's just like, yeah, without giving it information, then yeah, but but in real life, if there's a real scenario, you would be able to do that, speak with your spouse. Or what if y'all have a shitty marriage and you divorce in anyway already, like, and it's coming. You're just like, man, there's some unreconcilable shit that's happened in your marriage. It's coming. It's just like, well, then probably yeah. Because if it was like that with me and Jackie, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, you know what I mean. Like if I knew we were out the door anyway, marriage wise, I'm fucking yeah, dude. I'm fucking yeah. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm smashing that detective. You know what I mean? Like, but I have a good marriage. Like giving away my marriage is now, nah. But you know, and just to be 100% honest, if I was in a marriage that I wasn't happy with, like maybe that might change my answer. So those things those variables change
Hmm.
what you're right. So it's not really a cheating answer. It's just really throwing in those details because the devil
Yeah.
sometimes is in the details, you know. So I don't think that's a cheating answer. Like, yeah, go to your spouse and just be, hey, I'm in this dilemma. Like the lead detective is, explained to her, and then she was just kind of okay with it. Like, what if you in an open marriage? Like,
Yeah.
what if, so there's that. But I mean, all the variables about how they sit now, then like, hey, Drake, I can't do it. You should have discussed this with me. Whatever. We could have cased the joint, seen if there was cameras. You could have, I could have known the chance I was taking. Because if he would have told it to me and then we did it, and then, I might have to face the consequences because I agreed to it. But I
That's
didn't
fair.
agree
Yeah.
to it. So it was just
But
thrown
then
on.
that I agree with what you're saying, but then you can also look at it as in he wanted to keep you out of it as much as possible.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, I agree with you. Like once two people agree to do a crime together, at that point, you both need to face the consequences. But when somebody kind of just puts it on your plate,
mhm.
like that, like that mustard patty from our
Yeah,
previous episode.
yeah. Some people will just throw shit on you. That's why the law is written that way. Like the getaway driver law, like is written to where you have to, if you're just a getaway driver, they have to prove that you are a conspirator. Sometimes people can force you into shit. Like if I didn't have a car, I can nigga be like, hey nigga, I need you to take me to the bank. And then you unknowingly take me to the bank. I'm like, I need to go in there real quick. And I go in there, rob the motherfucker, and come out. And then like you might not even know I robbed it. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not
Mhm.
like they gonna run out shooting you, and they really have an alarm that makes a bell go off, like in the movies. You know what I mean? You just get in there to drive away, take me home, and you weren't per se the getaway driver. You weren't part of it, so it changes like the whole scenario. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
yeah, yeah, nah, I can't do it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
my
Drake.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go with no as well. So sorry to our friend Drake, not the rapper Drake. We're gonna have to get that on a t-shirt with Drake's stupid ass face, like
Drake, but not the rapper Drake.
stupid ass Drake face he does. I can hear his laugh.
We got to get some of those stories out there too.
Yeah,
Some of the
maybe
shit
Drake
that
will
they
come
do.
on one day.
Yeah, dude. Like, that's a that's a good little conundrum there. But
All right, you want to uh, go with yours, and then we can get out of here on that
we
note.
can go. This is a classic one. A lot of y'all probably have heard it. It's probably one of the most basic philosophical questions they ask. You know, it's a variation of it. And actually, I might do both. So this one always seems sort of easy. So imagine it's the trolley. It's a story. Like not call it the story of the trolley, but it's called the dilemma of the trolley. So imagine there's a trolley going down a hill, and you got a lever that can turn it that can turn it to another track. So on the track it's on, there's 5 people tied to the track. So you ain't got time to untie all 5. So but you can flip the lever. But on the other lever, there's one person. It's like, what do you do?
Hmm.
Do you flip the lever or do you keep it going where it's going? You know what I mean? So, like in that situation, what would you do?
I wouldn't touch the lever. I would just let was planned to happen happen.
Happen? Yeah, yeah. So a lot of people we start thinking really like utilitarian, and we're just like, well, save 5 to save 5, but sacrifice 1. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But that 1 wasn't in danger till you put it in danger. You're now the cause of that 1 because you diverted the track, or you're at least part of the cause because you diverted the track. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me to flip that lever, I would need like a variable, like you're saying, like the 5 people or like my friends and family, something like that, and
Yeah.
other person's a stranger.
what if that one person is your friend and the other five are a stranger? You know, and it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
utility wise, you save the five, but you do the one to get the one. You know, let go of the one. Let go.
I would
You
say my friend.
sacrifice the one
I'm
to um to save the five.
not gonna
You
lie, I'm
know,
gonna sacrifice my friend unless there's like some other consequences.
yeah,
But if it's that simple as that, as five strangers can die or my friend can die, then I'm gonna save my friend. But if it's
yeah,
just if they're all strangers, then you know,
yeah.
I'm none of my business the way I
And
feel
on
about
some
it.
level, like we would say, like, damn, dude, like, you know, you let those five die to save your friend, but it's just like when you, like you said, like we said, when you throw in the you know, the variables, it changes it. Now there's a variation of that story that we also tell, because most people, when you tell that trolley story, they say you gotta, you know, considering they're all strangers, you gotta save the five. Now let's there's another variation that has nothing to do with a trolley though. But it's I think it's called the stranger in the forest. I can't remember the exact same, but like imagine you're in some like remote town in Colorado or something. You're hundreds of miles from the next town. Imagine you're a doctor and you got five people in the hospital that you work at. They got five separate terminal things wrong with them. One of them has a bad heart. One of them has a bad lungs. One of them has a bad kidney. One of them has a bad liver, and one of them has a bad fuck, I don't know, colon. I don't know, something else. But five different things, right? And they're kind of on life support, but they don't got no transplants or nothing, right? And then a hiker comes in and to the hospital and he has a broken leg. But other than that, there's nothing wrong with him. So you get to talking to the hiker and stuff like that. He basically says, "Hey, I'm an orphan. I got no family. Blah 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 blah. All this stuff." So you happen to test his blood or something. You do some sort of test. You find out he's a match to all five of those people.
Mhm.
Like, okay, so you can transplant that heart, you know, the lungs, all that, and save these five people. Now, do you you know, kill this dude to save the five people?
My answer would be the same. I would not kill that man.
Yeah, and most people will say the same thing.
Hmm.
Like but it changes it because there's a variable. And now the question that they always ask is what makes one scenario different? If you're going to look at it from a utilitarian standpoint, what makes the difference from now, okay, it was okay to save the five people in that first instance, but now it's not, you know, when you think that way.
Hmm.
And it was just to show a flaw in utilitarianism, which utilitarianism, if I'm going to like explain it shortly, it's just a philosophy that says we should always do what gives the most utility to the most people, you know? So that's how we should basically base our decisions off of. But this is just to show how it falls short once you add details into it like that.
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn, that's like in that second incident, you know, like, damn, that's fucked up. Like this dude would live, you're just gonna kill him. Like, I'm gonna say these five people, bro. Sorry, you're just some orphan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When people have to actually get their hands dirty and kill somebody instead of just flipping a lever, something
Yeah,
different clicks in their brain.
yeah. And
Where
that's
it's
what you
like you have to murder this person. It's not you just flipping some switch.
yeah. Like remember in the Dark Knight when the dude was like, man, we need to blow up that boat, blah blah. And then the dude was like, okay, you do it then. They gave him the button to do it. And it's just like, okay, yeah, now
Hmm.
you can talk that shit, but now you blow him up and you live with it. Now it's just kind of like that's fucked up, you know? But but yeah, like that's just something to think about, like, you know. And those actually those things are really good. They help, you know, like doing these type of questions and shit like that. Like I think more people need to do it. It kind of sucks, but it helps you. Your brain is like any other muscle in your body, to where like the more you work it out, the stronger it gets. The more you like think about things and think your way through things, the stronger your mind's gonna get. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
you know, because the main question, at least in the philosophy class I took when we were first doing this, was just, hey, explain to me why those two scenarios are different and why you would make, especially the people who would save the five in the first one, the people who wouldn't in the second one, why wouldn't you do it when you're both saving the same amount of people? You know what I mean? And
It's
I
more
just think,
personal.
yeah, it's more personal, and and about how now it doesn't, it can't really apply to every situation. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because yeah, that's fucked up to take that one life to save five, but sometimes it's not. You know what I mean? Like, what if it's you take that one person's? What if it's like an infinity war where you take that one person's life because they realistically could have killed Vision and saved half the galaxy? Is that one person's life? Like now, when you put it to that scale,
Yeah.
um, do you do it? You know what I mean? Like five people. Like where do we draw the line to where you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Me personally, I just think like we try to compartmentalize life into everything. Like, I guess I'm going on this. We try to compartmentalize life and everything and try to think that one ideology solves everything. Like we do it politically. Like, oh, conservatives think that everything they do is wrong, is right, and their way is the way, and that, people on the left are always wrong. And sometimes vice versa, but not so much, you know what I mean? But it's just like
Yeah.
it doesn't apply all the time. And one ideology can't solve every problem. You know what I mean? Nor is it Apple.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the point of a
Gotta
lot
be
of philosophy.
variable.
Yeah. That's why, like, one of my professors used to say it both. She's like, dude, I'm not a Marxist. I'm not a conservative. I'm a whatever worksist. Like, we need to find whatever works in whatever given situation, you know? And
Yeah. A
it
lot of
just,
people don't want to do that because they want to be a part of, whatever, you know, Democrat, Republican, or whatever it is. They want to be a part of that group, wrong and right. And it's like, no,
mhm,
like sometimes both parties are wrong. Sometimes both are right. Like if you can't
mhm,
accept that and just think that your way is always the right way, like nothing's ever going to get done. Because
yeah.
sometimes, like you're basically saying, it takes different tools, different ideas, different variables to solve different problems. To act like you can just do the same thing over and over
Mhm.
just isn't going to cut it.
And that was probably the best thing I got because, we both went to college, and that was the best thing I got from academia because it was just like, it teach you to sort of like, that's why kids, they come out and they do become more liberal. It's not because your teachers teach you to be more liberal. It's the first time you have to deal with, like, it's the first time, like, a lot of them came out of their like little towns or just their area where they lived at and had to deal with other people of other cultures and other things. And it's the first time they ever had to like work out things with other people, like if they live in a dorm room or something like that. And when you learn to work out with things, you become a little bit more understanding and open to different ideas, versus people who's never not lived in the South or never not lived in the West Coast or East Coast or something. You know what I mean? So it's that's just probably the best thing that academia has ever taught me. It's just to work your way through a problem. You know what I mean? Like don't be so committed to an idea, be committed to the solution, you know?
Hmm.
And I had to tell that to one of my homeboys. I was like, because he never went to college, and I was like, dude, like, I was like, the problem, like, because we will go over scenarios about this, and he just argues to the death because he's more concerned. I was like, dude, you're more concerned with being right instead of getting it right. That's the point of it. You know what I mean? That's what science is about. Science isn't about knowing everything. It's about figuring the fucking solution out to a problem. No matter, you go where the data tells you, not where your ideology tells you. And
Yeah.
he just doesn't. He can't let that go because he's just spent so much, like, he's never been in academia, nor has he. He has the idea of an argument that we do on social media. The argument is, it's people get on TikTok and they go back and forth to try to be right, you know. And that's the problem with an that's a the last part, that's a problem with an argument. The winner of an argument isn't necessarily the person whose position is correct. It's the person whose rhetoric is better.
Yeah.
We can have a complete argument right now about the moon landing being fake, and I can convince more people. Doesn't mean they faked the moon landing. Doesn't mean I'm right. I just was better at convincing people. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that's sort of like what it's about. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a deep person, so let's just I'm gonna go that route, but with everything, but you know, like if somebody, from what I'm saying on this episode, somebody doesn't get that, like I just want somebody to get that, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, that's why I brought up the boundaries thing and around that. It's like, hey, change and learn how to like get it right when you deal with people, you know. Same thing. Look at situations, look at the details and learn to get it right, not just try to be right, you know. But yeah, I guess we gonna end it on that note, you know what I mean? Right?
Sounds good, brother. We got a lot done today.
Yeah. We got more to come, more bullshit to come. um we got I got an episode I'm working on and I think we can probably do next week, but it's more about communication. I know that's something that me and you talked about when I got like an example of it, a prime example of it, and where I think a lot of people, men, I'm gonna speak to the men, you know, fall flat on that. So stay tuned for that.
Sounds good.
And we gonna do some more drafts, and we gonna do some more bullshit. We gonna tell our stories about my homeboy Sonny. And, you know,
Yeah. Rest in peace, Sonny. We love you.
yup. Recipes going
One
into.
of the
I feel like,
funniest niggas I ever known. Sonny.
yeah,
Yeah, RP Golden too.
yeah, man. That shit feels like it was a lifetime ago. It probably was when Golden passed away. But still, never forgotten. But hey man, like, subscribe, comment. Hey, you got anything you think we can do better? Comment. You know, we open anything. Thank you to our 8.5 followers. And and hopefully we'll get more. Like you said, man, we just gotta build this shit brick by brick by brick. You know, I'm still JayMan knows how to edit. I'm still learning. We gonna figure out other things. We gonna talk about current events. We gonna do a lot of other things. You know, sports, whatnot. You know, whatever. Hey, you got anything y'all want to see us talk about too? Uh, let us know. So,
yeah.
shit. But all right, dude. I'll at you guys.
All right, y'all. And we gone.
Peace.